What is up, amigos? Hope you're doing awesome. There was a time in Indian cinema when Rajkummar Rao didn't just act in films, he transformed them. No star lineage, no studio godfather, just raw sincerity in front of the camera. He didn't need spectacle, he brought stories to life with silence, restraint, and authenticity. I still remember the initial days where he quietly stole the scene in LSD, Ragini MMS, and even Gangs of Wasseypur. There was something about his presence, grounded, uncomfortable, yet magnetic. It wasn't flashy, but it stayed with you. Then came Shahid, and it was no longer a whisper, it was a declaration. He wasn't here to entertain, he was here to tell something, to stand for something. From there, Rajkumar walked a path most would avoid. In CityLights, he played a migrant worker trying to survive in Mumbai. In Aligarh, he played the quiet journalist holding space for a silenced professor alongside Manoj Bajpayee. And then came Trapped, a near-silent performance that said more in its stillness than most films do with their dialogue. That was the Rajkumar Rao we all fell for. An actor who made us lean forward and listen, who made us believe that maybe, just maybe, talent could still rise without privilege. And then things started to change. Slowly, not drastically. He dipped his toes into more mainstream roles. Bareli Ki Barfi, Stree, Shaadi Mein Zarur Aana, Made in China, Ruhi. And we didn't complain. In fact, we celebrated it. He had earned his moment. Finally, he wasn't just critically acclaimed, he was commercially bankable too. But over the years, that raw, fearless version of Rajkumar started to fade from the screen. There were still glimpses of his acting forte and command in films like Shrikant and Bhed, but too few and too far in between. Majority of his choices of films started feeling safer. The roles were more polished, the storytelling more crowd-pleasing than character-defining. And Bhool Chuk Maaf is the most recent symptom of that shift. Let's talk about the film itself. Bhool Chuk Maaf follows Ranjan Tripathi, a sincere, small-town man deeply in love with Titli Mishra. But love comes with conditions, namely securing a government job to marry her. So Ranjan gets that job, and just when things seem set, the film throws in its twist. A time loop. Ranjan begins reliving the same day, the day before his wedding, over and over again. The idea? Interesting. The execution? Not quite. Instead of diving into the emotional or spiritual depth a time loop story can offer, the film keeps things superficial. The comedy is safe, the emotions never really land, and the loop becomes less of a narrative device and more of a gimmick that overstays its welcome. Now, Wamiqa Gabbi, a fantastic actor when given the material, feels boxed in here. Rajkumar himself feels subdued, not because the role demands restraint, but because the writing doesn't give him anywhere to go. Even dependable talents like Seema Pahwa, Raghuveer Yadav, and Sanjay Mishra are reduced to background texture. The music tries to mix nostalgia with modern beats, but ends up being forgettable. And while Varanasi is meant to feel like a character in the film, it remains largely underused, more of a location than a living, breathing presence. And that's what makes this film sting. It's not terrible, it's just flat. And when someone like Rajkumar Rao stars in something this flat, you can't help but wonder, where did that daring actor go? Now, Raj, let me clarify this. This is not criticism for the sake of it. This is an open letter from those of us who believed in your journey, because it felt like ours too. You weren't just another face, you were the exception. You were the outsider who made it, not by blending in, but by standing out. We saw you carry the pain of injustice in Shahid. We saw you disappear into loneliness in Trapped. We saw you rebel with quiet dignity in Newton. We saw complexity in Omerta, honesty in CityLights, restraint in Aligarh. And through it all, you showed us what acting could really be, not performance, but presence. So when we see you now, playing roles that feel written for any actor, it's disheartening, not because we expect you to suffer for your art, but because we know what you're capable of. We've seen your potential, and we just don't want to watch it get diluted. We understand the need for balance. This industry isn't kind. You had to secure your footing. You had to play the game, and you did, beautifully. But maybe now you can afford to take those risks again. Maybe now you can afford to say no to safe scripts. Maybe now you can choose discomfort over convenience again. Because we're still here, waiting for the film that makes us forget it's a film, for the performance that makes us forget it's a role, for that spark that made us believe in Indian indie cinema again. Bhool Chuk Maaf is a reminder not just of a missed opportunity in storytelling, but of a larger loop that many actors fall into once success arrives. A loop of repetition repetition, of predictability, and we're just hoping you break out of it. Not because you owe it to us, but because the actor you were is too important to lose. So Raj, here's what we're saying. Come back to that edge. Say yes to madness again. Surprise us, challenge us, break us, and then heal us the way only you can. Until then, we'll wait with respect, with admiration, and with hope. Thank you for watching this video. Take care, stay awesome. Bye-bye.